Hey there, and welcome to this trip report. I've just arrived in Vancouver from Toronto with Air Canada, and I'll be connecting down to Los Angeles in 3 hours' time. After arriving in Vancouver from a domestic flight and when connecting to a US-bound flight, you need to clear US Customs here at YVR Airport. As for my checked baggage, that was dropped off in Toronto and will be delivered at my final destination, which is Los Angeles. Taking a quick look at the departures board, my flight is AC554, which is scheduled for departure at 1:10 p.m. from gate E85. Now to begin the trek from the domestic gates where I am now, down to the E-gates which are used for US flights. The walk isn't too bad, taking just under 5 minutes before arriving at the entrance to the US departures area. Here you clear both security screening and US Customs, which altogether took about 15 minutes from entry to exit. Upon exiting, you find yourself in the designated US departures area with lots of duty-free shopping and restaurants. This part of the terminal is very similar to the rest of the airport with a nice clean and relaxed feel. While it doesn't appear to have been recently renovated, the style is very BC with lots of natural finishings and earthy color themes. The huge windows let in tons of natural light, and the high ceilings really help to open up the space. I would, however, say that none of those things apply to this duty-free area, which has a very different feel from the rest of the terminal. Although I'm flying in economy class today, thanks to my Aeroplan 50K Elite status, I have access to the Transborder Maple Leaf Lounge that's located in this area, so I'll be heading there to kill some time. The entrance to the Maple Leaf Lounge is conveniently located next to my gate for today, so I won't have to go far once it's time to board. The lounge itself is located up on the second level and is accessible via an elevator or stairs. Arriving on the second level, and after checking in at the front desk, my first order of business is to find a seat and somewhere to put down my bags. I managed to find a lounger chair in the far corner of the lounge, adjacent to the windows overlooking the concourse below. Access to this lounge is restricted to passengers traveling in Premium Rouge, Signature, or Business Class, or to those holding Air Canada 35K status or higher, or Star Alliance Gold members. Taking a walk over to the windows, there are more seats here overlooking the apron, along with some high desk-style seating facing the windows as well. This area closer to the windows gets very hot with the sun beating in, so I'm quite pleased with where I found a seat towards the lounge interior. There's also a secure device charging station where you can place your device to charge without having to worry about it getting stolen. Taking a look out the window, you get some great views of the aircraft parked at gates E86 and E85, and we can see the aircraft taking me down to Los Angeles this afternoon. I'll be on board this 4-year-old Boeing 737-8 MAX that was delivered to Air Canada in April 2018. These aircraft have been added to the fleet to replace Air Canada's aging Airbus A320 series aircraft and are being deployed on their routes throughout North America. Continuing our tour, over towards the washrooms near the lounge entry, there's a shower which is bookable through the front desk, though at the time of this flight it was closed due to COVID-19. Moving away from the lounge entrance, at the very back of the lounge down a couple hallways, there's a fairly large area for setting up and working. There's a printer, along with workstations with office-style chairs and monitors, though the use of the monitors was currently not permitted due to COVID-19. This work area is very private and quiet, secluded from the busier area of the lounge, which makes it great for getting things done in peace. Heading towards the center of the lounge near where I put down my things, there's a self-serve food and beverage counter. The fridge here contains cold soft drinks, juices, and water, as well as some to-go snack items. The counter, on the other hand, has some cookies, chips, Nutri-Grain bars, and more water bottles on offer. There's an assortment of alcohol, including wine and other spirits, available from behind the bar, and across from the food counter, there's a coffee and tea station. Back at my seat, I've got the classic Maple Leaf Lounge chocolate chip cookie and a bottle of water. At every seat throughout the lounge, you can also find QR codes for ordering hot food items. After scanning the QR code at your seat and ordering through the portal, the lounge attendants then bring the food directly to you. The items on offer from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. are fireside chili, cream of mushroom soup, or crunchy sesame salad. I ordered the cream of mushroom soup, which was simple but tasty and was served with saltine crackers. It's 12:25 p.m. now, and boarding for my flight is due to get underway in 10 minutes at 12:35, so it's time for me to head down to the gate. After coming down the elevator and turning right out of the lounge, I'm conveniently already at my gate for today. There are some rows of bench seating over by the windows, but it does seem quite limited as there are lots of other things in the area, like a Tim Hortons that takes up a fair bit of space. This also makes the area where people can line up quite crowded, with people already queuing as we get ready for boarding. Air Canada boards their aircraft by assigned zone number, with Zone 1 for business class and Aeroplan Super Elite members, Zone 2 for all other Aeroplan Elite status members, and Zones 3 and up for economy passengers without status. Thanks to my Aeroplan status, I'm boarding with Zone 2 today. Boarding got underway right on time, and I'm heading down the jet bridge at 12:37 p.m. Stepping on board the aircraft, you first pass through the 4-row business class cabin, which consists of 16 seats in a 2-2 configuration. Immediately after that, we have the economy class cabin, which consists of 153 economy seats in a 3-3 configuration. I'm in seat 12F for this flight, which is the window seat on the right side of the aircraft in the first row of the economy cabin. First thoughts, although designated as a preferred seat, it does feel pretty cramped. Being a bulkhead row, the armrests are fixed in place, which makes the seats narrower as well. The bulkhead wall that's directly in front of my seat and separates business and economy intrudes on my legroom quite a bit, as even though I'm only 5'10", my feet are still pressed up against the wall. The wall is also sloped towards me to accommodate the recline of the business class seats in front, meaning that the entertainment screen is within closer reach, but it also makes the space feel more cramped at the same time. On Air Canada's 737 MAX aircraft, rows 12 through 20, which are the first 9 rows of the economy cabin, are designated as preferred seats, offering close proximity to the front of the cabin and supposedly extra legroom, though my assigned seat isn't serving as a great example of this. Looking around the seat a bit more, on the bulkhead wall in front of me, we have the seatback entertainment screen, which we'll check out in detail later on in the flight. Further down the seatback, we have a pocket for storing the provided reading materials. Here we have the safety information card for the Boeing 737-8 MAX, along with a couple air sickness bags. The seatback pocket also has a couple different pouches to help you keep your personal items separate from the provided materials. In terms of baggage storage on board, there's no underseat storage permitted for my seat, so everything went in the overhead bins. The bins are large and allow you to store rollerboard bags on their side so they can accommodate a lot more stuff. They also stow away up into the ceiling, leaving behind a very open-feeling cabin. Taking a look at the view we have out the window, we get great views ahead of the wing and engine, and can even see our bags being loaded into the forward cargo hold. With the cabin doors closed and the safety information video underway, we're ready for pushback from the gate about 10 minutes behind schedule. Expected flying time down to Los Angeles is 2 hours and 30 minutes. After starting up the engines, we're beginning our long taxi over to runway 26 left for departure. Our departure to the west over the water was followed by a long left turn to head straight south and hug the coast for our journey down to California. Shortly after takeoff, the cabin crew offered earbuds for purchase to be used with the in-flight entertainment system and also distributed complimentary Clean Care Plus kits, which we'll check out in a bit. The 737 MAX has some huge windows which are equipped with standard pull-down window shades for blocking out light. I have 2 windows in this seat which are great for letting in tons of natural light and catching views. Anyone recognize the infamous Friday Harbor down below from Microsoft's Flight Simulator? Taking a closer look at the seatback entertainment system next, this system is loaded with lots of on-demand content including movies, TV shows, music, audiobooks, podcasts, and kids content, with a good range of things available under each submenu. Each type of content is grouped into different sections by genre, recommendations, or other themes. In general, the touch responsiveness of this screen is really good, making it super easy to use, and the graphics quality is very high. There's also a game section and a wellness section with tips and in-flight exercises. Interesting to see this on an aircraft that's typically used on medium-length routes within North America, as I haven't seen it on any of Air Canada's long-haul fleet where such exercises would be more useful. Also on the screen, you can access the food and drink items available on today's flight, you can view your flight arrival information or destination guides, the weather at your destination, and even up-to-date news headlines from BBC and AFP. The settings menu for the screen can be used to control the system brightness and volume, as well as to toggle different functions like parental control, different languages, night mode, or to turn off the screen. The flight progress bar on the bottom of the screen shows the progress in today's flight, including departure time and estimated arrival time. There's also a button on the progress bar showing when the in-flight food and drink service will take place, allowing you to toggle it to view the menu. Of course, there's a section with the in-flight maps, which are stunningly high quality with tons of different viewing options. Overall, just a really pleasant entertainment system to use. Looking at the bottom bar of the screen, there's a power button and volume control, as well as navigation buttons for menu, home, and back. The screen is fixed in place and the angle not adjustable, which is different from the screens in the rest of the economy cabin. On the lower edge of the screen, there's a headphone port for connecting to the system audio and a USB port for charging your devices. Also at the seat, we have AC power outlets located on the divider in between the seats, with 2 outlets shared between every 3 seats. For this particular row, there's another headphone port for the entertainment system located on the end of the armrest, such that headphone cords don't have to reach the screen mounted on the wall. Above the seat area, we have a personal reading light and personal adjustable air conditioning vent, along with an attendant call button for the row. Taking a closer look at the armrests in this seat, as mentioned earlier, they are fixed in place as they store the tray tables for each seat in the row. My table is located in the armrest on the left and folds out for use. It's a fairly large table and is quite sturdy, with the ability to be used in either a half or full-size configuration. It's also mounted on rails such that it can slide inwards and outwards. Shortly after I popped out the tray table, the cabin crew began the in-flight Air Canada Bistro service. Bistro is Air Canada's for-purchase food offering on their flights within North America that are over 2 hours in length. The items on offer range from packets of trail mix or chocolate bars to cheese plates, pizza, or sandwiches. I ended up asking for 2 snack items, a packet of Hershey's cookies and cream, and a Kit Kat chocolate bar, coming to $8 Canadian in total. There was a complimentary drink service offered as well, but no complimentary snacks of any kind. Taking a look inside the Clean Care Plus kit that was distributed just after takeoff, we have some individual packets of hand sanitizer, some disinfecting hand wipes, and a multi-layer disposable face mask. Air Canada distributes these kits to all passengers on all of their flights as a part of their commitment to passenger safety during the pandemic. We're about halfway through the flight now and just entering the northeast corner of the state of California. Taking a walk down to the back of the aircraft, there are 2 washrooms located here, which are also the only washrooms accessible for economy class passengers. There is one other washroom at the front of the aircraft, but this is reserved for business class passengers. This is quite a pain, as during the aisle service, everyone in economy at the front of the aircraft has to wait for the cart to finish before being able to access the washroom. As for the washrooms themselves, this one appears to have had a small flood, with the floor covered in water. At least that's what I'm hoping it is. It's also extremely small, with barely enough room to turn around. Heading back to my seat, I love how modern and bright these 737 MAX interiors are, with high ceilings and overhead bins that stow upwards into the ceiling, making it feel very open as well. As for the cabin layout, it's in a 3-3 configuration with quite a narrow aisle. Every economy seat ahead of the overwing exit row is designated as preferred, meaning that over a third of the seats in this cabin are considered preferred seats. Typically on this route, these seats cost around $45 Canadian when booked on a standard or flex economy fare, but are free to select when booked on a comfort or latitude economy fare. Every economy seat also has a height adjustable headrest with folding sides to provide extra support. The seats also recline, though a fairly insignificant amount. With only 45 minutes to go before landing, I'm exploring the in-flight maps a bit more. The level of detail in these is really incredible, with the ability to select different cities you're flying over and read the info about them. Approaching LAX airport from the east, we get some great views of the city of Los Angeles on our approach. Pulling into Terminal 6's Gate 69B at 4:15 p.m., just 12 minutes behind schedule. After disembarking, I'm headed to baggage claim next. Since we cleared US Customs in Vancouver, when arriving in the US, it's like arriving as a domestic passenger. Although Air Canada operates from Terminal 6 at LAX, which is where we are right now, baggage claim for Air Canada flights is located in the nearby Terminal 5, accessible via a long walk through a tunnel. I'm not totally sure why Air Canada is using the Terminal 5 baggage claim, but I assume it's because of ongoing renovation projects in Terminal 6. After about a 5-minute walk, I've arrived at Carousel 1, where my bags will be delivered today. Another 7 minutes later, my bag has arrived and it's time to head out. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this trip report. Now for some comments on the experience. Air Canada offers a convenient non-stop service from Vancouver down to sunny Los Angeles multiple times a day, usually operated by a mix of Airbus A320 and Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, of which the latter is far newer and more modern. While the service was on time and generally comfortable, I can't say I would recommend any seats in row 12 due to the limited legroom that doesn't make them feel like preferred seats at all, with the proximity to the front of the cabin not worth the extra money. The lack of complimentary snacks on any of their North American flights over 2 hours long is a bit chintzy, meaning that customers' only option is purchasing from the onboard bistro menu if you're looking for a snack. All in all, the economy service and product is on par with that of other North American carriers, which to be honest is a fairly low tier group to be lumped in with.